did a RWG interface, a psychic RWG interface, and this is a diorama. I said this with the intention of getting a what should I make a video about? It's a diorama, and I wrote about winning the fourth grade science fair last night. So that makes a connection there. I did an experiment with jelly beans about smell and taste. Um, I won first place. I did it because my mom, she had AIDS. She had an ear infection that had killed half her face, like a stroke victim, and she had lost smell and taste. I did an experiment on how they related. Um, I can remember what my diorama looked like. Um, uh, and then in fifth grade, I didn't even do an experiment for this one. Likewise in my like I kind of did in my 10th grade one. That one was interesting, but fifth grade I did a experiment on wings, on flight buoyancy, the lift and drag and um, all these concepts, and I just explained it, and you know, if I forget if I say it won the fourth grade science fair. I got first place. A number of kids got first place. Um, I think I got first place again in my fifth grade year. Um, uh, everyone got a ribbon, but there's first, second, and third place, and um, in 10th grade, I got an honorable mention for doing an experiment I could graph, if I could write on the coordinate plane, Cartesian coordinate plane, using functions. And that one, like I was just, spiraling. This was in 10th grade. This was in after getting suspended for 100 days. So I was in Solvay. I went to Syracuse Academy of Science. My math teacher is the one that actually came up with the idea, and he made the diagram. I remember like in sixth grade, we had like a dare project. Like we had to make a poster or something. I couldn't do that because like I just I had to tell my father I needed supplies, and he would absolutely get them for me. No trouble asked. But this is the time, the time where a year or two later he didn't have Word on his computer, and I waited till Sunday morning to do my homework, and he didn't have Word, on his computer, so he I don't know why, but he made it. He made this big deal about how he had to go into work to get the software, and he realized halfway there he didn't even have to. He came back. I could write in a notepad or something. But he terrified me beforehand. I was literally when he was going to work, I was going there. Die, kill myself, call the police. Die, kill myself, call the police. This is the terror I was in. And so I called the police, and they come. The guy comes, and he's like, "Are you on drugs?" Or he's like pissed at me. Like, no, I'm scared out of my mind. I want him to like protect me. He's like, what do you want me to do? Protect me? I'm not gonna wait here all day. And it's like, so he's talking to him in the car, and I see my dad come back, and like everything just like falls inside me. Like I just collapse, and he tells me, he's just concerned at first. He's a good man. He just, he has, problems. And he talks with, the cop. They get along. The cop talks about how his son stabbed him with a pencil, and then my dad comes back, and he's just annoyed. Now he can't get a handgun. He says. Um, But there's a lot of things that have led that contributed to I just I'm just paralyzed of I couldn't do things. I couldn't make a ironclad ship for my project in seventh grade English. That's why I wanted to go to the technology room and make this ironclad ship. I couldn't even vocalize it. I just and so I was just I was in like this just on rails. I'm just going with what the world is telling me to do. That's what middle school, high school, so on was like.